Welcome to AGS107. This is the first tutorial for our GIS section, and our GIS section will be focusing on using QGIS as our platform. There are a variety of platforms that we can use for GIS. Some of those include things like ArcGIS, ArcInfo and Map, which are components of ArcGIS. MapInfo, which is another commercially available software. We've got other free software like Map Windows GIS, to name a few. So there's a variety of platforms we can use to do this sort of data analysis, and we've chosen QGIS primarily because you can freely download this. So after the course, it's available for you to continue to use. There's tutorials and a lot of information. It's also open source, so it's continuously being developed, and they're continuously adding in new features and providing you with new bits of data and new tutorials through their own open source software. So that's why we've chosen QGIS, because we think that as agricultural students and probably agricultural practitioners, you may not always want to spend thousands of dollars buying a commercially available system. Obviously there's benefits when you do buy the commercial systems in terms of they seem to be a little bit more stable and they're designed for that commercial environment, but they're big dollars. So the first part of this tutorial is basically to try and introduce you to what a GIS is, what the difference between vector and raster spatial data are, and to discuss things like attribute tables and how we can use spatial information for precision agriculture, but also for broader business and other industries. I'm sure you'll be able to see after using this software how it's very applicable across a whole range of industries. To get us started, we need to actually download the software, and so we also need to understand what our computer platform is. One of the hard things in trying to teach anything to do with software is dealing with the variety of computers that are out there and the platforms that they're using. So quite a few of you will be using Windows. You might be using older versions of Windows, Windows 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on, or some of you might be Mac users. In the commercial world, lots of software is specifically designed for Windows-based machines, and so for those of you who have Mac machines, unfortunately you have to use some sort of emulator to emulate the Windows environment. Some software platforms develop their software for both Windows and Macs, and often the GUI or the interface that you use on the screen will be a little bit different. So again, in terms of writing instructions for this particular subject, we're focusing on the Windows version. If you're running a Mac or a Linux machine, then you're going to have to run an emulator so you can run the Windows version. I won't be supporting the Mac GUI interface, but in saying that, if you go to the QGIS website, you will see that there's a Mac version that you can download, and you certainly can install and use your Mac version and try and work your way through the instructions I give for a window. This shouldn't be too dissimilar, but you will kind of be on your own because I don't have a Mac to do all the testing and development for that. So alternatively, there's things like Parallels or VMware that you can use on a Mac that will allow you to emulate the Windows platform and run QGIS and any other Windows software that you might like on a Windows platform. So if you were to go to the QGIS download site, you can see the web address in the video presentation that I've got here, or you can do a quick Google of QGIS and then select download when you find that, and you'll reach a page that looks a little bit like this one. And you can see here that there's a number of versions to choose from. At the moment, we're using the long-term release, so this is the most stable release, and you can see here that we've got a standalone installer 2.18 is the current version that's available, and it's for either a 64-bit machine or a 32-bit machine. You can, if you're not sure what sort of machine you've got, you can, on a Windows 7 machine, you can hit the Start menu, and in the Search Programs and Files, type in a line that says MSInfo, MSINFO 32, and that will bring up a page that will show you your system summary, which will tell you whether you have a 32-bit or a 64-bit machine. Sometimes it's also on a sticker on the machine. Likewise, if you're running a Mac and you don't have an emulator and you want to have a go using a Mac, you can download the Mac version. Here it is, 3.2, version 2.18 here as well. If you're looking for an older version, there's also versions here for different platforms. You can also click on this All Release button, and that will, if you click on the here below that will take you to a directory of older versions of QGIS. And for instance, if we had a Windows 32 machine, we click on the Windows 32, and you can see here that these are all the older versions and when they were released. So that can also be useful, particularly if the versions have changed and things aren't working the same as they used to. So once you've downloaded the version you want, you should have an icon that will appear on your desktop or wherever you've decided to save it to that'll look like that. Simply double click on that icon and you will see that the installer will start to install. You click Run on a Windows 7 environment, and then it should start to install. And when it's finally installed, you'll have a new menu icon on your desktop that will look something like this particular icon here. I'll just drag it across so you can see, and we'll move this one across so you can see that one too, with a selection of icons to run the actual program. The one we'll be focusing on is QGIS Desktop. Likewise, if you can't find that particular folder on your desktop, click on your Start All Programs and navigate down to QGIS. Open that QGIS up and you'll see the desktop version. We will put some instructions together so you can see this in a document form, but I often find it a little bit easier to use and see what we're actually doing. So double click on Q Desktop and we'll start the actual program up, and I'll just wait for it to start and I can show you what the interface looks like. So I'm going to bring it across to this screen so you can actually see it. And so you should get something that looks a little bit like this. In my particular, I've got some older GIS projects, so that's why mine's showing recent projects. But if I go and click on Project New, you'll get a blank screen like this. In this particular browser panel, you should see all your hard drives or any links that you've got to the outside world. Once we start loading data, you'll see the layer panels. And obviously we have a whole heap of information here in these particular buttons. With all software, the only way you'll learn it, will provide you with basic instructions, but the only way you're going to learn it is by using it and exploring. I'm going to try and make sure that the instructions are up to date. Sometimes they will change the menu bars or move things around, so you can find some issues. Before you start jumping up and down and saying this doesn't work, just have a bit of a look around, have a think, try and think about what we're trying to do, and you can often resolve that problem by having a look. There's an immense amount of information on YouTube for QGIS, and if you do some searches through YouTube, you can also find a lot of functions that we're not going to cover in these basic tutorials, but that will be very useful for you in your future endeavours.